been waiting for. Come on down. Woo!
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've been waiting for. You've been searching the dark, your sweat soaking to the floor. But buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that is real is left behind. Don't fight each time before you're running at you. It's something that's coming, don't care what comes at you. Your fever dreams, can't you see them getting closer? Just remember, because you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's blood and oath. It's a creature in the moment and your mind of motion. At the brick of every wall that's written, all that you know. And tell me, do you want to go?
at least this weekend and next. It's such a pleasure to have all of you come out and support the choir, but more than that, support the benefits tonight that we'll be hearing about in some detail in the middle of the concert. Right now, just wanted to make sure you all take a look at the young lady to my left, to her right. And she is a 7th grader at Butler, and her mother is directing the next song. Could you imagine living in that house because she has the solo and she's the director? My kids never sang for me. Probably because. But you're going to have a little treat. We continue with one of the theme songs from The Geatest Showman, and I think you'll really enjoy hearing Hallie sing. Many dreams. Sounds crazy. the splendor of the colors in front of you. It reminds me of how music is made. It's not made because we're all alike. It's not made because we, and this is a non-audition group, FYI, but it's not made because we have these strange, beautiful voices. But they do, I'm sure you. You've proven that. But it's made because we come from different places, from different experiences. We wake up in a different place and we're in a different place in our minds every day. And then we come together and we have so many varied backgrounds. I don't know if we have a baker and a butcher up there, but we have an Ace Hardware man. Raise your hand, Rob. You will never recognize him down at Ace. He slicks back his hair for that. You know, there's nurses, there's teachers, there's retired folks, there's students. And they all bring a flavor. And so I'm sharing this with you because sometimes words over time change. This show came out in 2017, the music was available in 2018, and we did it then. And the word diversity was not a bad word then. And I still don't think it is a bad word, but in this case, if we didn't have the diversity amongst this group, and it's all the different colors, the different outfits, and they got to pick their own, I did not dress them. I don't think we have the music, not just here, anywhere. And so we celebrate that. It is a good word, and especially when it comes to music. And so this is me. The next song is in the movie. It's about a character that is kind of looked upon, down upon, because, well, she has a beard. And while Rachel, who's seen me, does not have a beard, she shaves every Sunday morning. And before coming to church, we play this together at church, at Calvary Church in Zealand. But anyway, listen carefully to the words. It's a celebration of the individual and something that we need to really celebrate today. That was darn near groovy. If it isn't evident, we do have a good time. These volunteers that ring and sing and certainly play together to make this concert happen work really hard. And then I think at concert time, for the most part, if you're not watching all of the grimaces on their faces sometimes, they make it look easy. But part of that is, I think they really do enjoy it. Nobody ever lets us down. Everybody learns all the words, everybody learns all the notes and the rhythms and everything else. And it's just a really good thing. When we come back together in late August, we'll begin preparing for our Christmas season, which will be the first 2 weekends of December here. And if you have any interest in singing and or perhaps ringing, although to get a spot in our fellow choir, pretty much you have to have somebody die.
We're not dying.
And they become this good because they're so dedicated, without a doubt. But please think about joining us. Tuesday night is our rehearsal evening, and I think you can find it worthwhile. So we're going to take you to the hills of Appalachia and do a little bit of dueling banjos without banjos. We're going to do it with bells tonight. And then that'll warm you up for when we have an all-sing immediately following of Country Roads. And you all get a chance to yuck it up a little bit and sing some harmonies. Dueling banjos.
This historic building, which is just off of Brownsdale Road. It's on Beacon Road, if you're familiar with that area of Forward Township. It is the only church that is in Forward Township. A little bit about this. It was built in 1860, and at one time, am I close enough now, March?
Closer.
At one time, there were 4 North Union churches, because churches did for the community what the Circle of Friends is doing now. which they were a bedrock, they were a place to meet and greet and have a community. And in the 1860s, 70s, and 80s, there was a North Union, a South Union, an East Union, and a West Union. All of them have fallen into disrepair and been bulldozed, except for the North Union. The congregation at this church, this blessed handful, is long gone. But the church is a place of grace and beauty. It is simple. It is simply a room with beautiful windows, clear, wavy glass windows, which let in the sun from the north, the south, the east, and the west. We're also a wedding venue. Not like this one. If you want something along the lines of a Quaker wedding, we're your people. But this place is historic in its own way. And this board has been maintaining it on a volunteer basis for over 25 years. And we have done some major renovations. Our very first project was that we put a new roof on the outhouse. And we were so proud of that. Since then, we have done many, many projects to maintain this building. And in fact, one of our biggest was we have a new roof. My brother, who is 77 years old, helped put that roof on when he was 12. So that roof didn't owe us anything. But now, and then last summer, we had some volunteers who were amazing. They scraped and primed and painted this church and buffed it up, and it looks great. And that was Dean Zinkham from Evans City, the mayor of Evans City. And that was Bob Lauer, that was Bob Grant, and that was Kevin Peffer. And those 4 men have done just a yeoman's job. But now we're facing something that has to go beyond volunteerism. And that is, we need to replace the windows in this church. It is the major architectural feature. It's what lets the light in. And when you sit in this space, it's what lets the spirit in. These windows need replaced from the sills to the frames to the molding. And this is a little bit beyond us, so that the offering tonight will help us as we go forward to rebuild those windows. And the board was nice enough to let me come and tell you about it. I'm going to use you a little bit as a brain trust as well. If you have knowledge about old buildings, or windows, or know someone who does, please talk to me after the service. I'd like to introduce, we have 2 other board members here, which is Beverly Krill on this side, and Patricia Hartzell on this side. So it is, since we are a group that is interested in restoration and history, we are doing it old school. We are passing a hat. So thank you for this time. And we have, now I must tell you, next week we have our annual Mother's Day flower sale. It is on Saturday from probably 9 till 3. We just missed the order form, but we always order extra. You are all invited. You're all invited to come to the North Union. You can buy flowers or not, but you can certainly eat cookies. And you can walk around and you can see this space and see the beauty of the oak trees and the fields beyond. So you are all invited next Saturday, the 10th of May. Amen and amen.
So what's in common with that building, built in 1860, is this building, built in 1860. And I can attest to you, it's no small feat to take an old building and make it breathe and have new life. That building over on Brownsdale Road and Beacon Road is absolutely beautiful and does speak of the grace that's been afforded. We don't often have fundraisers for events like this, but you heard that word volunteer. That rang true with the board, a Circle of Friends board, because as it turns out, we're all volunteers. I haven't figured out how to make the big bucks yet. But I will tell you that this is a worthwhile cause that we heartily support, and we'd ask that you be generous, especially if you're enjoying this evening. As the crew brings down the lights out there, I'm going to just introduce this song. Jen and I have been singing together for over 30 years. And yeah, I'm old enough to be, well, I'm not old enough to be your dad, but.
But he is older, so.
I definitely am older. But over the years, we've gotten away from singing together as duet, too busy doing other things with the groups. But this one came about after I heard it in, probably in February, early March. The great Rufus Wainwright and even greater Sarah Bareilles did this duet, and it's from the musical Waitress. Sarah wrote the piece, and it's kind of a biopic of her life and you know, where she was at one point. The main character, the waitress, is singing this, and she's kind of lamenting who she is versus who she once was. It's a story that probably rings true with either us or someone we know. But it's a lovely duet that those two people did, and it's worth YouTubing and listening to. And Jen and I will do our best to do it justice. It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me. These shoes and that ink, that place and its patrons, taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention sweet-scented. Still, I remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. But she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone.
lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie.
She's been gone, but she used to be
I've said for years that being raised in home and a church where hymn singing was the thing we did. There's nothing like an old hymn, but there's also nothing like making an old hymn new. And so the contemporary Christian group is very popular these days. Cain, I believe it's two sisters and a brother, the main leaders. Have resurrected and kind of infused Blessed Assurance, a favorite of mine, into something new. It gives you yet another opportunity to sing along. However, you won't know the part we're going to ask you to sing along. Sorry. But if you're paying attention, you'll learn it, and you'll learn it quickly. And I'm pretty sure it will be something that you take home with you. You'll just find out earworm this week, but it's a good one. It's a great earworm, actually. So listen to Blessed Assurance. We have an opportunity right now to hear our drummer, Maggie. Maggie sang with us a couple of years ago. She's always playing drums, but she has a wonderful voice. And when I heard this version, I'm like, I hear Maggie, I hear Rachel, and I hear Joe. So they're going to lead this and enjoy Blessed Assurance.
Singing my testimony tonight. Oh, blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Yes, He is. The Lord of fortunes, of glory divine. Oh,
Heir of salvation, the purchase of God, of His Spirit, washed in His blood.
this is my story. Here we go. This is my story. This is my song. As I'm praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all the day long.
Somebody help me now. Perfect submission.
All is at rest.
Cause
is my story. I testify that God is good. All the time He saw me and heard my cry. Now I exist. This is my story. I testify that God is good. All the time He saw me and heard my cry. Now I exist. This is my story. I testify that God is good. All the time He saw me and heard my cry. Now I exist. This is my story. I testify that God is good. All the time He saw me and heard my cry. Now I exist.
Great job.
When I get handed the piece of paper that means I'm supposed to report. Thank you for your gift today of $1,493. Thank you very much. So we're going to feature those fiddles now in greater. So listen carefully and enjoy this upbeat song from Mercy Me.
Bring your time, bring your shame, bring your guilt, bring your pain. Don't you know it's not your name? Oh, you will always be much more to me.
So, as we are landing near the end, I wanted to do this piece. I recognize that Easter was really late this year, seemingly late, and we actually bumped up our concert schedule one weekend, so we're just 1 week from Easter last Sunday. And this particular song is powerful. It's been around for a while, and it's beautiful with the 4-part harmonies that are incorporated. And but it features a trio of singers, and Jen, Carol, and Jim will lead that. And if you didn't celebrate Easter, you get a chance to do that today with Bible Ron.
There's a peace that comes to know, though my heart
been singing together about 30 years. So it made sense to put them on that together. It's kind of like when families sing together, it's a familiar sound. That becomes a familiar sound when we do that often and sing together. We're blessed. In the year 2000, I was fortunate enough to be part of a large group of musicians that got together in Chicago for a conference. 400 musicians, church musicians from all over the country. And we stayed up in Grant Park in a nice plush area. And our classes and little breakouts were at the University of Chicago campus. Just south of the campus, there's a highway that goes through that kind of divides. It's South Chicago. Way down in the bowels of South Chicago, we took a bus ride. It was probably 15 to 20 buses at least. We went to a church, West 400th Street. And it was the largest church in the denomination of the United Church of Christ. 10,000 members, 99% African American. It was a very scary neighborhood. They instructed us to get out the bus. We're going to put you right in front of the door. As the buses pull up, go directly in. It's a deadly part of town. But once inside, we were so warmly welcomed for worship on Sunday evening worship, as I recall. And the sanctuary seats 3,300, so they have an assignment to come to church all that time to fit everybody. They have 2 in the morning and then 1 in the evening. And they have stadium-style seating for the choir. While the church is in the round and there's a balcony the whole way around, that's where they placed us. So we had a bird's eye view. We were looking kind of down at it's called the Sanctuary Choir of 400 voices. Not a piece of music, kind of like this group, right? They weren't happy when I came back from Chicago because that's I'm like, we're ditching the music, man. It's all here. They did this arrangement of Richard Smallwood's Total Praise, and there wasn't a dry eye among us musicians and probably in the rest of the assembly. And it stuck with me that it's worth sharing. So bringing it back to Heaven City, it was met with resistance because, we're going to do this without music. And that was the beginning of taking the music away from them, but it is something that is worth not just singing, but we're learning, and we're going to try it today, learn to sign it a little bit. And if there's any ASL folks in here, we've taken great liberties. Caitlin, who will be standing next to me, but kind of helped me choir through it. We figured by Saturday night we'll know. I did not have time to teach it to them earlier, so we actually sat where you're sitting this afternoon when they arrived and taught it. And so I reminded them the main thing is to sing, right? Sing. Don't let your hands get in the way. But the beauty of that is the communication over and above the sounds of the music, right? I do want to say something about the choir you just heard and those bells. Nobody's a professional. We just kind of get together, right? 13 rehearsals. 13. Did anybody notice how many words these people are singing? From the Geatest Showman stuff to all of this other music. And no one has pushed back. Well, not to my face. But I am a believer that music is visual. You need to own it. And this choir has done a magnificent job of owning it, not just the bells. It's a crazy, great group to work with. I'm blessed. And I dare say that's the best part of my life. There's an empty chair here today, and it's up front, and it has flowers on it, and it says, "Reserved for Riri June." And it's a picture of my mom and my brother Tom's mom, and my sister Cheryl's mom, and my sister Kim, who's here, and Cheryl's granddaughter, Mila, is sitting in the front row here. She drew the picture, the reserve sign, shortly after my mother passed at the end of February. And said we have to have this for a chair that we reserve, or we reach in, Grandma Jane. Because my mom sang with us until she was 90, and then she gave it up for Lent or something. And, but she knew it was time for her to do that. And I'm telling you, she became that person who would sit right here, that would give us inspiration. So we know she's here. We don't see her, but we see this beautiful picture, but we feel her spirit. And we're grateful that she lived the life she did. I will tell you, there would be no circle of friends if it wasn't for Jean English. There just wouldn't be. And so for that life, we give thanks. And we thank you for the many gifts that you sent in memory to Circle of Friends. We're going to be doing good things with that money. And this is kind of to remember. We read June. Grandma June English. applause to the instrumentalists again, please. I also want to thank the tech people, the sound and light. You can't do without them. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this afternoon. Good afternoon. God bless. Something big. Something big.